God, it's a very little chilly morning. I've actually got things almost figured out. I don't think I'll ever get it completely figured out. You guys, good morning. I was mucking around and practicing off and on all day yesterday, trying to figure out how to do it landscape. Because, of course, those of you that joined me a few days ago, I was portrait part-time, and then I was able to fix the video and I uploaded it to my computer, made some adjustments, and then I got busy for the rest of the day editing it. And that's not what my intention was to do, is spend all that time editing videos, because I have all this other stuff to do. So what I did is I'm regrouping, refocusing constantly, right? So the one thing I am doing right is doing the live. I think it's working for me. I don't want to get caught up right now doing a bunch of editing on my live streams. I want to focus on baby bunnies and sorting wool, because good lordy, I have a plenty to do on both of those accounts. So as we do these lives, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so far it's working good for me. We're going to do it. I've got 3 baby bunnies to look at today. And first of all, I wanted to share, I had a question come up on what kind of tattooer that I like. There's quite a few out there. I started with the little gun type, and that works really good. I like it because you hold the rabbit tight in one squeeze, put your, it's a clamp type, and then you put the ink on it, and you're done. No trying to write in your tattoo number. But there's also lack of control. I have more control with the pen. So I bought, my very first one was the Inkinator, and it's wonderful. And I did a little checking on the internet this morning through KW Cages. You can get it for about $115. It comes in a case, comes with ink, a little well, and little needles, and you're ready to rock and roll. It's a really good ink pen. There's absolutely zero wrong with it. I loved it, and I've used it for years. My new favorite is this thing called Basstat, Basstat. And I got it through Great Northern Cage, and I checked their website. They have them for $65. It's in a smaller little cage, smaller little carrying bag. And the reason I like this, several reasons. The needle replacement is much easier to do, and this fits really nicely in my show stuff. I can just throw it in there and I'm rocking and rolling. Yeah. The Inkinator is a little bit larger, a little more cumbersome, but it's awesome too. So my 2 favorite cage companies, Great Northern Cage, $65 for this one, and $115 for the Inkinator. Both are great. My wool is going to slip off the table. You didn't see that. Before I get to my baby bunnies, I want to show you that I did finish packaging up that wool that I was starting to sort 2 days ago. And in my practicing, and I had all these little short videos that I was trying to record of myself, making sure I was landscape, portrait, all that fun stuff. I was deleting all these little practice sessions, and I deleted my session from Wednesday, so it's gone. That's one thing with YouTube. If you delete something, there's no retrieving it. There's no way back. So I was just a little too heavy on that finger. Delete. But anyway, I did finish it up. And I do feel like I have accomplished something. I made little labels. I hope you can read this. It's pink is my favorite color. Fuzzy Vaughn's wool. And I have the ounces, 3.1 ounces, about 88 grams. Description is baby chestnut giant Angora. I was a bad girl and I didn't write down which rabbit it came from. I usually do better than that, but I didn't. But it's still really nice. Because it's baby wool, it's not going to go in my wool, my yarn production. So I'm going to sell it on Etsy. Actually, if I've already got it up in my Etsy shop. So if you're looking for some really nice baby prime, it's 5 to 6 inches in length. Clean, no vegetable matter, no second cuts. It's gorgeous. So anyway, I've got it up for sale if you're interested. Ooh, I didn't mark the price on that. My baby wool I'm marking up to $20 an ounce. And most of my prime goes for $15 an ounce. And $15 is kind of high. $20 is really high. But that baby is only going to produce that wool once. And then the rest of it is going to be nice. It's not going to be really nice. So if I sell it, I need to make sure that I'm getting it's truly valuable. So I won't cry that hard when I put it in the mail to some lucky spinner. I won't cry that hard if I'm reimbursed the price I think it's worth. So anyway, all my baby prime, and they're usually show coats. They're really long and really super, super soft. So anyway, I had a productive couple of days. I'm learning, getting in there, and trying to get through a process. My grandma, bless her heart, she trained all of us grandkids on how to work. Grandma and Grandpa owned a restaurant in John Day, Oregon. And I learned how to bus tables, wait on tables, learned how to cook. She said all of us grandkids would never go hungry if we learned the restaurant business, because no matter what kind of state the country's in, recession, depression, whatever, there's always restaurants. And if you are a good waitress, and I was a really good waitress, you can make some serious money tips. So I never went hungry either. There's always food to eat in a restaurant. But the one, here I come around to the reason I bring that up. Grandma taught me, always have your hands full. If you make a trip that way, have something in your hands. You're delivering the dirty dishes to the dishwasher. If you're going that way, you have the coffee pot in your hand. Every step you take has a purpose. So if I'm going that way, I'm going to drop off the dishes. I'm going to grab the coffee pot. So when I'm doing my wool and rabbit stuff, I always try to make sure that I have a purpose on where I'm moving stuff. If I'm sorting the wool, like this stuff I did a couple of days ago, I finished it up. I don't want to just put it in a bag and forget it, because I will completely forget it. I took some time. I made some new labels. This is what I want it to look like. It's easy to fill out because I have little blank pieces there. So as I go through and do more, if it's not going into my wool co-op, then I will package it nicely and so it's ready to go. And I'll post it on Etsy. And if it doesn't sell on Etsy, the next show, fiber event that I do, a vending event, it'll already be packaged up and ready to rock and roll. So I'm trying to be efficient here, so it's taken me a little while. This video stuff, holy cow, talk about a process, learning. So instead of editing my videos, you guys that are lucky enough to see me live will probably hear me ramble and carrying on and go around and around because I get off topic. This is not scripted. This is just me. I haven't quite decided. I'm not going to promise that it'll be posted on YouTube. If I don't make a complete ass of myself, I might post it and I might not. But I will try to save it so I can use this footage later when I'm creating my online courses and other educational content that I'm doing. The next several days, today especially, I am just jam-packed. I'm on a schedule. Today I'm doing this live. We're going to do some baby bunnies here in a minute and possibly dive into a little bit more wool sorting. But I want to keep these videos under an hour, so we only have until 11. And then I have to finish up some newsletters. I hate writing. I don't know if I told you this, but I hate writing. But I do it anyway. And when I'm all done, it feels actually really good. And I'm enlisting help from my Bubba. He's ChatGPT. I write things out and he helps make sure it's grammatically correct. Anyway, so we go back and forth and it does save me a lot of time. So it's a lot less painful for me. But getting down there, I need to finish up my newsletter articles for NARBIC. As a board of director, I have to do that. And as the secretary for our Blown Away Club, I also have a section for our specialty club. So I've got one article done, one to go, and a few more little inserts that I want to sneak in there, like the Giant Bonanza that we're doing at West Coast Classic. It's for non-showable colors. So far we only have chestnuts and whites in the Giants that are showable. You can earn points, earn awards, all that fun stuff. If you have a fawn or chocolate or chocolate agouti, all these other colors, you can't earn points for the sweepstakes yet. But in our Giant Bonanza, you can earn special awards that Fuzzy Vaughn's, that's me and my husband, we're going to donate some really awesome awards. So if you have an off-colored giant, there goes that wool. That's not a chestnut and not a white, but you want to show it off and maybe sell it because there's going to be people there that are looking for giants. Great quality, colored and white. Bring it, show it. Let's have some fun. Let's share some great stuff. So anyway, the Giant Bonanza, I'm going to put a little ad in the newsletter on that. Okay, so I've been rambling enough. No comments yet. It's only a quarter after. So far, so good. And then, did I put this cage on backwards? Then these guys were going to jump out. They're little enough. They're not going to jump out. Well, a few days ago, I posted a video on Ravishing's babies. And I was short one. Yeah, one escaped. But I found it later. These little buggers are quick. When I was loading them, I turned around and it was gone. So I have a little chocolate baby that I'll start with. Now I'm going to turn this video, my little phone, so hang tight. I'm going to get it so it looks down a little bit. So you can see me evaluating. Oh, come here, baby. I know, it's your turn. Beautiful chocolate. Mom is Ravishing. Not Ravishing. Rapturous. God, I can't really say that. Rapturous. Dad was Cheerful, my purebred giant. All your siblings were looking really good with their body. This one is just not quite as nice. Why is that? And I did grab my scissors and my toenail trimmers. I'm a little better prepared today. So the first thing I'm going to do is trim those little razor sharp toenails. They're usually just the very tips. We don't want to go very far because they're tiny little toenails. especially those back feet. Yeah, those back legs, even with little things like this, they're quick. And they can leave you shredded and bleeding in no time at all. They're kind of light colored toenails. I'll be interested in checking them out here in a month or so when he gets a little bit bigger. Because we don't want white toenails. Well, the trick is they all have to be the same, right? You definitely don't want any white toenails in a colored rabbit. But if they're light colored, you want them all to be light colored. The goal is for me to get as dark, even colored toenails. And I'll have to knock on wood somewhere. But not when I'm almost done. Okay, that's the last one. I know, I shouldn't have said that so loud, huh? She's like, what? Scared me. Okay, I'm going to trim up your little hoo-ha. Sometimes the babies have a little bit of dirt coming in. You look like a girl. I've got these nice, sharp little scissors that can get in here and just, I know, clean you up. Mom is not doing her job. She's probably, at this age, she's a little over a month old. Mom is about ready to get them out of the nest. I always make sure I know where my scissors is, especially since it is very sharp, very pointy. Never want to get in a hurry. If you're in a hurry, don't do this. Do something else and then come back when you're not in a hurry. I have to remind myself because I always think I'm in a hurry, but I'm not. I'm not. You want to get some of that. Yeah, it's so easy to cut them. We don't want to. And never cut the heel. The Giants and some of the other breeds will grow extra fur on the balls of the foot underneath their toe, but never ever cut down here because it just doesn't grow. And if they're going to get sore hocks, that's where it's going to be. Now let's weigh you. Shall we weigh you? Hold on. We're going to turn it on. We're going to write this down. Chocolate. You're a doe. I think we'll double check here in another few weeks just to make sure I got it right. And you are 30 ounces. And that's 1.9 pounds. You're right up there with the others. Yeah, you are. You're so precious. This bowl is just perfect. My husband was in here yesterday. He saw the bowl, but he didn't say anything. We have this little ongoing discussion. I call it a discussion. He calls it something else, but he says I take his bowls, which is true. I do. And this one just fits just perfect. So I usually, you know how many bowls he has in that kitchen? You go yard selling or whatnot. He has so many bloody bowls. But he has his favorites, and it seems that the ones I like are his favorites. But I'm going to try to commandor this stringer. It just works perfect for weighing my babies, weighing my wool, because it's narrow enough at the bottom. I can see the scale readout. Some of the other bowls are wider and I can't see it. Now, while I'm down here trimming some of these dingleberries, what are you anyway? I think you're a buck. Write that down. Black. And I have two in this litter, and they're from Twinkle. It's a black mom. She's half giant and half French. She's ginormous. She is just absolutely a moose. And she's always been a really good mom. I have her notes down here, but she's a keeper. And I just love her wool. You know, if I've had a few blacks throughout the years, not very many, but I've always had issues with white spotting. Usually pretty minor, but sometimes a white foot might come up, white toenails. So I've been very leery on my blacks, but anything that I've produced out of Twinkle has been superb. And the baby daddy is Ravishing. He's a chocolate agouti. And he's one of my favorite chocolate agoutis, and I have several. But he was just gorgeous, and he just happened to be sheared and ready when I was doing my last round of breeding. He's an F2. He's out of that little experiment I had with the Rex. So we'll see how you guys turn out. I see plenty of furnishings. Now I said you might be a buck. I think. We'll check on you. So far, the toenails all look great. What does your little teepers look like? Yep, you look great. Eyes look great. Yes, yes. Can I weigh you? I haven't weighed you yet. Let's put you on here. Okay. You are, hold still. Hold still. Oh, you're a tubbo. 2.3 pounds. And how many ounces are you? Oh, I turned it off. Yeah, let's do this again. Turn it on. Yes, you're good boy. I think you're a boy. Get in there. Yep, 2.3 pounds. And was it 105 grams? That can't be right. £2.3 pounds. I don't know. It's going screwy. But do you feel like about 2 pounds? You do. But he's a little more flat, I can tell already, than the others. Of course, you're hunching down, aren't you, baby? Yeah. No ear furnishings yet. You're solid. There's no serious skiddy up. and the hip action going there. Your tail is looking good. Yep. I had you upside down. Can we do this again? Now see, he has a slight bowing here with his feet. We'll keep an eye on that. Yep. Sweetie pie. Oh, look at you. I don't know what you are. I think you're a chestnut. Oh, God, you're a moose. You're huge. The mom is Twinkle. Twinkle. Yes. You guys take after mom. She's a moose too. Nice white belly. Okay, can we trim your toenails? I'm already getting stabbed. Yes, we don't want that. Hold on. I can't wait to put you on a scale. See, since mom only had 2, they're off to a great start. Oh, hold on. Okay, that's 1. We want to do 1 more on the back feet. Yep. Hold on there, baby. If I can hold them snug, usually they feel more secure and they don't wiggle near as much. So far, I'm liking those colors. Toenails. Now the front feet. Can we do that? Oh, look how nice straight these feet are. I like that. So far, you might be a keeper. I know. You're a... Oop. Sharp little toenails. I know. Okay. Well, we're almost done, sweetheart. Just hang in there with me, okay? And I love the cheek furnishings that are coming in on these guys. All of them so far. That gives me great hope that you'll have really good furnishings. The front feet aren't quite as woolly as I want, but we'll see what they do. Yep. So since I've outcrossed with French quite a bit, and more recently, the last couple of years, I had some French, or not French, but Rex, one in particular that I did some breeding with. That might have some influence on the lack of furnishings. And we want our giants to look big and beautiful and furry. Not as furry as those English. Those are furry everywhere. But giants are distinguishable all on their own. They have cheek furnishings and ear tassels, and usually furry feet. And usually, if things go well, they have enough wool on their belly to knit a hat. Some of the other breeds are a little skimpy down there, but not the giants. Now see, you're a little flat. You're not as good as the ones that I now she stretched out. You look really flat there, so we'll keep an eye on that. I don't want to do too much scrunching here. Front feet, back feet. Try to line them up. Yeah. I'm not thrilled about that. We'll keep an eye on you. Yeah. How much are you? How much do you weigh? Can we check that out? There we go. £2.8. You're the winner. You're the winner. For some reason my grams are off. So that's kind of weird. Nope, that looks right. You're not quite 3 pounds. Almost. Moose, are you a boy or a girl? What are you going to be? Do you know yet? Can I take a peek and take a guess? Can I? No, I think you're a boy. I think Twinkle had 2 boys. And let's kind of feel your tail. I haven't had any real issues with tails for a long time, but it's always good to, especially since we have some of that Rex in there. Surprises me why your bodies aren't as good as I hoped. Teeth look really good. So far, so good. White belly. You guys are looking good. Yes. Nice and healthy. Okay, I've got some more wool. That's what's up next. I've got a whole half hour. Look at me. I'm just rocking and rolling. I don't see any comments yet, so we're just going to keep going. I think 4 people are watching. I think. I have a note. Do I even write a note on here? Yes, I did. Now, speaking of Twinkle, here we go. This says Twinkle, and it says plucked. So this should be really nice black wool. We're going to go through here and sort it. And I'm going to get my tubs situated here so I can just put prime in one and seconds in the other. And I'm going to write a note so I can tell which is which. Some of this seconds, I'm calling seconds, is really long, slightly webbed and dirty stuff from my previous sorting. I'm going to dye it, and then I'm going to process it myself. So Twinkle, even though she's half giant, half French, she has really nice wool. See, some of it's really light. Holy cow. But I'm going to make yarn out of this stuff. Oh, it's beautiful. I marked this down as plucked, but as you can see, there's a scissors end, so it's definitely not all plucked. And that doesn't surprise me because some of these guys do start to release their coat before I get to them. It's that age-old thing, synchronous coats versus non-synchronous. Oh, look at this. This is lovely. There's just a little tiny bit of resistance here. See this? Just a tiny bit of resistance. I don't know if you can see that on the... I'm pulling on that. That's slightly webbed. That is going to go into my second dye pile. That will not make yarn. Well, it will make yarn, but it won't be my commercially spun yarn. Commercially spun yarn, we want it all to be the same length, anything between 3 and 5 inches. Shall we measure some of this? I won this at a rabbit show, you guys. Best of breed. Yeah, Rebel. It was at Centralia's rabbit show. I love that. So this is just about 4 inches. Some of the guard hair reaches up to about 5, but we measure right about 4, or the on fluff. Yeah, so that's beautiful. Some of it's a little longer, but that's right about 4 inches. That's about my sweet spot. And when I started learning how to sort wool and get it ready to be for the mill, 3 inches, I believe, iCarb, and they have beautiful yarn. But I wanted something a little bit more. 3 inches financially, it just makes more sense, right? You grow at 3 inches, takes a month off the production time for the rabbit. You can get more production, more shearings. But I hate that word but, right? And I'm going to use it. Even though you can get more shearings and more production, some of this looks a little bit longer than 3 inches. Shall I try to measure some of this? If I can grab some of this and measure it. Yeah, 5 to 6 inches. That's going to be perfect. If it's more than 6 inches, that's a no-go in the mill. So anything between 3 and 5 inches. I'm not even seeing any second cuts, you guys. There's just a little bit of resistance here. So I'm going to put that in my dye pot. I wonder what color I'm going to dye it. I don't know. That'll be a fun. Dyeing raw wool is a challenge because you have to pick it and card it and all that fun stuff before you can spin it. And my favorite personal way to dye stuff is after it's spun in a skein. It's just easier. Because this stuff is so hard. Now this stuff might be a little shorter. Yep, so I'm going to put that in the dye pot. That's going to be hand spin stuff. This stuff all looks really nice. I hear a truck out front. I wonder who that is. It's Friday. Is it garbage day? I don't know. This looks like it might be matted, but it's not. It's just been squished in a bag for so long. Isn't that lovely? Okay, so that stuff is good. I'm feeling just a little bit of resistance here, not bad. But that's still going to go in my dye pot. There's no resistance to that. Oh, Twinkle. This is an adult coat. She's got to be 2 or 3 years old now. And it is so soft. This stuff is a little bit shorter. But I think it's still within my 3 inch. Oh yeah. If it's under 3 inches, I will put it in my hand spinning pile. Oh, look at you. Oh my gosh. We're getting into more color. This looks like chestnut. I bet I put some chestnut in here. This is what not to do, you guys. Always bag your stuff. Put the name, the date on your bag. Always, always. And the easiest thing that I've done is Post-its. you can write your information and just slip it right in the bag. What I've done a lot is I use painter's tape. Painter's tape is another favorite tool of mine, and then I can just write on it. The painter's tape is pretty slick. It's expensive, and it's not as sticky as duct tape. Of course, duct tape will work, but it's harder to get off. And I use this painter's tape on my travel cages. When I'm taking my rabbits to a show, I can write down if it's a junior, intermediate, or senior. Yeah, this is chestnut. This is not Twinkle. I added somebody else's wool on here, but it's all going to go in the same batch anyway. I don't know if you can see those rings. You can see some brown color in there. It's not black. Yep, that's under 6 inches, so that's going to be, I'm just going to put everything together. That's probably what I thought when I was sharing. It's all going to go together, so I don't have time today. Do we have days like that? We have far too many days like that. This might be too short. Yep, see, that's barely 3 inches dye pot. I don't know if there's any more short pieces like that in here. It all looks pretty good. Here's the second cut. It's the second cut I found in this batch. I better start paying attention because I see more. We don't want any of that going to our mill. Our goal is to have 0 second cuts. And sometimes I just get in a hurry. We don't do that, do we? Yep. So here we go. This is pretty boring stuff, you guys. So if you're still live with me, you want to just head on out, that's all right. This is just beautiful stuff. Oh my gosh. And I don't know who it is. The first stuff I know was Twinkle because she had black wool. But this is a chestnut. Very nice. Very nice. Here's some stuff that I feel some resistance. I might be putting that in my... That's good. That's good. That's slightly felted. Very slight. Very slight. Well, I'm making a dent, you guys. And we have 15 minutes. I'm making pretty good time. I wanted to keep this video under an hour. Oh my gosh, isn't this beautiful? Now this stuff might be too short. I'm going to put that up there. Short. I tried to bag those separately, but I obviously didn't. When you get around to the dewlap and the belly and stuff by the legs, most of this longer stuff is just gorgeous. It's all on the top and the sides. I can guarantee it. And I can kind of tell as I'm going through here, I just put everything in the same bag. So here you go. This is Granny Tammy telling you, do as I tell you. Don't do as I do. God. I'm telling you to make separate little piles. On my desk, I have an old video. I need to redo that, but of my shearing process. And I have several little tubs right here. So I have my prime, my seconds, and my thirds. And I think I was even saving my guard hair in another tub. So as you shear, it takes longer to sort as you shear. I know, we get in a hurry. We have an appointment, or the kids have soccer, or something's going on. We have to get this rabbit sheared. Boy, howdy. Been there, done that. This is just a little bit of resistance. I'm going to dye it. It's beautiful, but it's not that bad. And we just get in a hurry. So I can honestly tell you, I've been there, done that. I still do it, but I don't want to make a habit of it. My habit, when things go right, the moons are all right in the universe, and I've got my desk all set up. I've got music playing in the background, or some book on tape I'm listening to, or some podcast. I can just sit there and shear. And yes, it might take long. Well, I won't say it might, because it will take longer. And when the rabbit does get thoroughly pissed off at you, because they will, and maybe you don't get done with that whole rabbit, and that's all right too. Put him back, give him breaks. And if you're blessed like me and have more than one rabbit, you can pick on another rabbit. And then you can go back to that first one later. You don't have to do the shearing all in one sitting. Take a few days, several hours, it doesn't matter. And one thing that I do religiously all the time, and I have very seldom, I don't think I ever deviate from this, but whatever rabbit I'm shearing, I always start on the bottom. And the gold, this stuff right here, it's bunny gold. This all came off the top and the sides, and we're all tempted, myself included, to trim that first. And I'm telling you, we're human. We're going to forget. If we take the top and the sides, we're going to go and do our other business that we need to take care of, because we have lots. Yeah. And we're just not going to get to it. Or we might, and it might be a week, it might be 2 weeks or more, God forbid. And that underside really needs attention. Some rabbits, less attention than others. See, some of this is a little bit shorter, so I'm going to put it up here. That's going to go in my dye pot. And yeah. So knowing in advance that I most likely will not finish that rabbit all in one sitting. But if I can get at least the back legs and the belly all cleaned up and trimmed up, that rabbit is going to be so much more comfortable while he or she waits on me to get that bunny gold that's on top and sides. There's some second cuts. I saw a video one time, somebody was trying to tumble those second cuts out. I don't know how that would work. This is slightly webby because it's so, I hate to say sticky. Even if you tumble, I don't know if it would tumble out. I can't see that happening. That was slightly webby, so I'm going to put that in my dye pile. It was ever so slightly webby. Yeah, so we're going to have a dye party. I'll show you how I dye up my Angora. I have fun because one of the yarn stores I visited, this has been several years ago, and the ladies there were very attentive. We were sharing stories and stuff. And one gal had alpacas, so we were sharing stories about livestock and the farm life, right? And then it came up, we were talking about dying. She goes, "Oh, I know, Angora, you can't die." It's like, well, you can, and I do dye it all the time. It's different than regular wool, that's for sure. It's different to dye. One lady at off, I always get a RV space and I camp out for the weekend as I'm vending. And in the evenings, there's always fellow, either their teachers or just people doing the shopping that will camp out. And we sit out in the camping area by our camp spots and share a glass of wine or our favorite beverage and just sit and spin or knit. A lot of spinning takes place out there after hours and sharing stories. And this one gal, she was a professional dyer, and she gave me the best tip. It made a huge difference. Just a little bit of dab of Dawn dish soap in your water, in your dye bath, whether you're dyeing fiber or skeins, it doesn't matter. Whatever kind of fiber you have. And I did that. It was like night and day. Because one of the challenges why people think Angora rabbit can't be dyed is it has air shafts, air pockets within that fiber. So it's a lot lighter than any other fiber. More insulating, definitely more warm. See, now this probably came off the dewlap because it's shorter and darker. I'm definitely not going to put that in my mill run. It's right at 3 inches. Let's look at that. Shall we see how long that is? Let me see if I can grab a piece here. Oh, good golly. It's 3.5 inches. Am I being too picky? Am I being... Let's look at this stuff. See, now that's 2.5 inches. I'm picky. I admit it. It's going in my dye bath. I want long 4 inches. That's the target in my yarn. Sinfully soft yarn. I have a designer that bought me nearly completely out of all of my lace weight yarn, you guys. So I've been frantically trying to get more lace weight yarn made. And being a small farm, we only have so much, right? They bought other stuff from other people, which is great. There are thousands of Angora breeders. There's probably hundreds of people that I know of that do make their own yarn. And some of them that I do know, I gave their contact information to the lady. Now I'm back into the black stuff. This is Twinkle again. This is probably her plucked. Okay, before I get carried away, I'm going to put that in my dye pot pile. Oh my gosh. But anyway, this lady came back to me and said that her knitters were thrilled with Sinfully soft yarns, or lace weight yarns that they were using in their designs. The other stuff is nice, and I can't remember the exact verbiage she was saying, but it basically confirmed that my extra pickiness is has worked. She could tell, and her knitters could tell, in the quality of the yarn and the fabric and the items that they were making was just hands down different. And it was a better quality yarn. So when I catch myself thinking, oh, maybe I'm being too picky. When I hear stuff like that, that gives me confidence that, no, I'm okay. I'm just picky enough. Long time ago, I decided to start making yarn with commercial mills and my hand spun stuff, and I decided I'm going to learn from everybody else because there's so much good stuff out there. And as I go through things, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes because people tell you what you should and shouldn't do. There's a lot of that. And I take it with a grain of salt. I listen to them, and then I usually, more times than not, I'm like the obstinate teenager. Well, you said I shouldn't do this, and I'm going to do it anyway. And sometimes, probably the majority of the time, this is all plucked. This is beautiful. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Twinkle, I love you. So, yeah. One of the things that I was told that you shouldn't do is spin 100% Angora. You should always blend it. And that is true. That is absolutely true. But when you have as much Angora as I do, and if you have your own Angoras, you can do whatever you want. You can make 100% hand spun. I've even seen 100% mill spun. It's rare, and the stuff that I've seen is just gorgeous. So, yeah, you can't tell me that you shouldn't. It's just different. Would I want a sweater made out of 100% Angora? Nope. I can tell you, nope. Do I want a hat done with 100% Angora? Maybe if I live on the North Pole. Maybe. You wouldn't be able to wear it on your head very long because it's so warm. But can I use my 100% Angora, especially the hand spun stuff, as accents to my weaving, my knitting, my crocheting? Absolutely. Oh my gosh, this is just, yeah. Look at that. One whole bag is done. I'm just, okay, I'm on a roll. This is pretty cool. I have, starting over here, an empty bag pile. So none of that is going to go onto Etsy. That's all going to my dye pot or in my next yarn run. Oh, I think it's almost an hour, you guys. Oh, it is. It's 11 o'clock. I couldn't have timed that better. Oh my goodness gracious. Here we go. Where are you? I can see me. Mm. So if you're still hanging in there, you guys, thank you. Thank you very much. And this was fun. I don't think I screwed up too badly today. So when I finish with this, I will probably publish it live. Why not? I don't think anything was majorly off-putting. Yeah. I'm going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing the lives. I'm going to schedule next week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 o'clock Pacific time. Right here, we're going to do it again. I have more babies to review. We'll start with those. And I have one more batch that I haven't reviewed yet. So I'm going to save those for Monday. Let's do those. And I have a bunch more wool to do. And in between, what I'm going to do is tackle all of my majorly dirty butted, majorly matted guys that have been neglected. And I'm going to videotape those, but I'm not going to go live with them. Somehow, some way, I'm going to get creative and create little snippets or courses or something to share with the public, the dirty side of Angoras, because there is, and it happens to even the best of us, all of us. I think the only thing we can do is take a deep breath and get in there and do our very best to give our Angoras the very best life that we can. And doing that, we give ourselves the very best life we can for us too, because the stuff they give us when we do that is more beautiful wool, more beautiful yarn is a coming. Anyway, thanks you guys. I'll talk to you later.